So what is this? What is the Into Light Project? Well, funny you should ask. I'm going to tell you. Into Light is a national nonprofit that creates public exhibitions of individual portraits and stories of people from all around the country who have died from the disease of substance use disorder. Their mission is to change the conversation around substance use through the power of original art and original story. They recognize the powerful influence of museums and galleries and how they promote social innovation and inspire social change. Each Into Light Project exhibition consists of up to 30 original graphite portraits of people who have died from substance use in the state where the exhibit is held. Each portrait is accompanied by a professionally written narrative about the lives of the individuals within the exhibit. And while written by professional writers, the stories you see that you're looking at tonight and that you're reading come from the hearts and the memories of their families. The importance of Into Light cannot be overstated. Roughly 49 million Americans are living with the disease of addiction, and since 1999 it's reported that some 1.2 million people have died from overdose. And that number does not reflect deaths from alcohol and all disease and ailments caused by substance use. It's much higher. The staggering loss of life is rooted in misinformation, health inequities, and marginalization of those people suffering, and extends to their families. It is critical to change the public perception around this brain disorder by dispelling deeply entrenched stereotypes and changing stigmatizing language and engaging in stimulating discussion. So tonight, we're all here to speak up for the 30 beautiful Massachusetts souls and the thousands and thousands like them all over this country who lost their lives to substance use disorder. We're very humbled and thankful to have 10 of those lost on our walls from Northern Berkshire. They are here because of the love and the bravery of their families. And while I have a lot of folks to thank, our first and most heartfelt thank you goes out to the families of Austin Vincent, of David Tower, Jimmy Boland, Jesse Boland, Kelsey Lynn Gettler, Jennifer Cohen, Samantha Bernier, Terry Levesque, Jennifer Kerrigan, and Jeffrey French. And if we could, let's just take a minute to remember those lost and remember their families. Thank you. I'd just like to recognize our donors and thank our donors, our premier sponsor, Berkshire Health Systems and North Adams Regional Hospital, and thank you to all that are here from the health systems. We have 2 community engagement partners, our Ruth Proud Charitable Trust via John DeRosa, who is also with us, and our other community engagement partner is the Plunkett Hospital Trust. We're very pleased that they were able to help us with this. We have a few groups and agencies to thank, the North Adams Heal Coalition, the Northern Berkshire Opiate and Addiction Collaborative, which is a collaborative representative of the city of North Adams, and the towns of Adams, Cheshire, Clarksburg, Florida, New Ashford, Savoy, and Williamstown. Berkshire Regional Planning, and a huge shout out to Andy Otteson and Anna Youngman, who were just workhorses in this effort. Berkshire Harm Reduction, another workhorse, Crystal Kincaid. Crystal, thank you. The Northern Berkshire Community Coalition and Hotel Downstreet, who donated this space to us right through the end of June. I want to thank Janine and her staff. They have been marvelous to work with in accommodating us with this space. I want to always thank the Munchies. Door Prize put out some spectacular munchies out there. Please have some before you leave. And a very special thank you to Simeon Youngman, Anna's brother, who curated this space for us. It looks absolutely beautiful. Thank you to all those folks. So we are now going to have, that's the mayor to come up and say a few words to us. And also we got a nice letter from the governor, lieutenant governor, which she will read in here. So.
Thank you, everyone. I don't have jokes like Dick, so I'm very sorry. When we come together for occasions like this, you know, we have to really stop and pause, and we read the stories of all these individuals, and sometimes we think it can't happen to us. Sometimes we think, well, they made a poor decision. sometimes we think, not in my house, right? Not in my neighborhood, not in my backyard. But the bottom line is, no matter what your background is, you know, addiction can overcome anyone at any time. And when we talk about real people, real stories, I think we all can tell stories, but we all have been impacted by addiction. And having an exhibit like this in the community really brings it home. Really brings out that everything we do, we need to do to make it better for the next person who struggles. We need to reinforce that this journey, even for those who survive, who continue to advocate, you're not in this alone. Over the last 4 years, I have learned so much from former Mayor Alcombre, and it always has made me reflect on friends and family that I've lost, and empowers me and my colleagues in government to work that much harder. No one should struggle alone. And I look at, you know, Chief Meany's here tonight and some of the things that his team experiences. And then we debrief, right, John, and we come together and we gotta work harder to save one more person. But we also have to focus on the people and the families who are the support system. And having an exhibit like this in a community like North Adams sets the tone, I wanna say, sets the tone that we're not all above this system. We need to make the system better, not only for those who struggle, but for those who work in it, and for those who continue to advocate to overcome. And that's the thing, how do we overcome? Every day, the playbook may change. There's no playbook on this, right? That we haven't developed a playbook. But the bottom line is, as a community, we need to stand united, and we really need to empower and raise those people up. And remember, just like we're doing here, remember those who we've lost. And the best way of preserving that is for advocation, and to be an advocate, and to have things like this, exhibits like this, that empower us to make sure no one is really left out. So with that, I'm very honored to read a letter from Governor Maura Healey and Kim Driscoll, our Lieutenant Governor. Dear friends, on behalf of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll and I welcome the open reception of the Into the Light exhibit. Can I borrow your glasses? All right, let's try this again. All right.
Stand over there and hold it.
As Carol will know, I'm older than dirt now. Thank you. I have like 10 hairs on my neck. Thank you. Oh, these are naughty. All right, let's start again. So I welcome you to the opening reception of Into the Light exhibit, hosted by the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission and the Northern Berkshire Opioid Abatement Collective. The Into the Light project honors the stories and portraits of individuals lost to addiction across the United States. These portraits aim to shed light on their personhood and the impact that they had on people around them. Through collaboration with local support groups, counties, and municipalities, the Into the Light program has made strides in righting the deep-rooted stigma and inaccurate perceptions that have long defined addiction and its victims. Lieutenant Governor and I recognize the importance of displays like this, such as these, creating awareness around the impact of addiction and reducing harm from substance use in our communities. We are proud to support this project, and we thank all of you who are involved, and we support your continued advocacy, especially the families of Northern Berkshire who have shared their lost loved one stories. Please accept our best wishes to all in attendance today. Sincerely, Maura Healey, Governor, and Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor wants to borrow my glasses because I'm at the point in life where I need to borrow someone's walker. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see. Oh, right now I'd like to call up a true advocate for everything health-related services in Berkshire County, but certainly around everything substance use disorder and health equity in the Berkshires. Our own Darlene Rodowitz, the CEO of Berkshire Health Systems.
Thank you. We all know that substance use is one of the most common diagnoses that we take care of in our health system. Mayor spoke about how we're all touched by it, but I would dare to say it's hard to find a family in Berkshire County that doesn't have a loved one that's been impacted by this disease. I can't say I'm excited to read any of these stories. They're incredibly moving, but I really feel indebted to the family members that were willing to share the brothers. And when you read the stories today, to realize that substance use is more than just the heroin and the illicit drugs, it's also alcohol, which is a huge issue in our community as well as both of them. And the more we talk about this, the better. And we talk about, I always think about substance use this way. We don't treat it like a real medical disease. We treat it as a bad decision that everybody made. And yet, when someone dies of lung cancer, we don't say they made a bad decision. They have lung cancer, right? And so we're not going to actually overcome this until we have those conversations, and we look at substance use and the disease of substance use and all that comes from that, the way that we look at COPD and emphysema and lung cancer. That's the success, that's the journey we have to be on. I'm so excited that for the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to have the opportunity to use this space and to have those conversations and tear down those stigmas. Because when you're in recovery, the only way that you're going to be successful is to be welcomed back into society as a full member of society. And that is the struggle that most people that are dealing with substance use are really challenged by. That is the journey that they're all on. So it's so wonderful to see all these people here. I am thrilled with the number of people that have been involved in this project so far, and I have to just tell a little story. Carol Kushnick here will always she is the Energizer Bunny, she is the workforce, and she never wants to be called out. She sits in the back. But Carol is the one who gets credit for bringing this to Berkshire County. And she... John Duval, the Adams Cheshire School District many years ago, and she'd call me up and say, I need to talk to you about something. And she came, she's retired, you'd never know it. And the most prepared presentation of what she needed to do here. And I also want to give a shout out to my team and Tejas Gandhi, who's our COO of Berkshire Medical Center, who led the way here as well, and helping to put some of this program together, and Roberta Gale, who oversees all of our community-based programs. And so many more, but this is a partnership, a true partnership, and let's just make the best of it. Let's celebrate the successes and the wins, and let's figure out how more people can be successful with this terrible disease. Thank you.
Now I would like to call up Erica Hensel from the Attorney General's office. She works with us all the time on these issues, and she's going to read in her boss's letter. We have a nice letter from the Attorney General.
Hi. So thank you for having me here today. I know A.G. Campbell really wanted to be here, but I'm really grateful that I got to be here. And I could have easily been someone on these walls, and was close to many, many times. And it's through advocacy like this that A.G. Campbell took a chance on a woman with an extensive open drug use history that's currently on medications for opioid use disorder and didn't have any degrees or experience working in government really either. And it's through things like this that are thoughtful and are in your face and humanize us and fight the stigma. So thank you for fighting for people like me. And A.G. Campbell said, thank you for inviting me to attend the opening reception of Into the Light. I deeply regret that I'm unable
unable to honor the powerful installation with you in person tonight. Far too many families across the Commonwealth have felt the profound and devastating impacts of the opioid crisis. Confronting this crisis requires collective action from all of us, which is why I am inspired by your effort to bring together a diverse group of stakeholders who can help be a part of the solution to not only remember those that we have lost, but to work towards a future where opioid deaths don't have to occur at all. As funding for life-saving medical and public health research and public programs that help address the opioid crisis are slashed at the federal level, I want to assure you that my office remains dedicated to advocating for those impacted by this devastating epidemic. To date, through various opioid-related settlements, we've secured more than $1 billion in eligible recoveries for Massachusetts, which will be used directly to support opioid prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery. Last year, my office also secured the first known conviction of a doctor for involuntary manslaughter associated with opioid prescribing in Massachusetts. The opioid epidemic did not happen overnight, so solving this crisis will not happen overnight either. We will continue fighting on behalf of the individuals and families who have been harmed by this crisis, never forgetting the ones that we have lost, and together we will create a brighter and safer future for the Commonwealth. Thank you for being part of that fight.
I remember when Erica first came on board, and for most of it was like, Erica, who? And then very shortly thereafter, it was like Erica sent an email, which is better respond. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you for all you do. I also like a good friend, a good community neighbor, a great community partner for many, many, many years is our own John DeRosa, and he is the administrator of the Proud Charitable Trust. John, would you like to come up and say a couple of words? Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. And thank you for all you do. It's truly remarkable every time we get together and chat, and usually ends the same way that Dick recruits me for something. But I'm delighted to be part of this, and was really happy that we could commit the Ruth Proud Charitable Trust support to this important event. And there's something really that I walked in a little bit in awe of the whole event and the exhibition. It's truly remarkable, but it's a great example of where art meets the social problems. And many years ago I was involved in the 80s in helping establish Massamoka. And beyond my fondest dreams that we would see the effect that just the influence of the arts can play. And when you look at these fantastic portraits, it really drives home the story and the lesson of this event and the lesson of tonight. And I was thinking as I drove in that, we all suffer from some afflictions. I have coronary heart disease, extensive works. Other people suffer from other diseases and cancer. None of us escape an affliction along the way. But none of us expect, nor will we be remembered by that. We'll be remembered by what we contribute, what we do, the impact we make, the people we talk to. And so should, the Boland brothers, everyone who has their portrait here. They lived great lives, and they lived lives that teach us something, and something that we can learn from, and all have had a positive impact. And their affliction, like mine and like yours, it's a disease. And kudos to Berkshire Health Systems for stepping forward and taking the lead on this, because it puts the problem under the umbrella that it needs to go under. And so, I just can't help but think that when we learn these stories, and as shown to us through the portrait, that we as a community, as an individual, will all somehow be ennobled and enriched. And so, thank you for letting me be part of this. We all know people who suffer from addiction. There are relatives, our friends, our neighbors. And what we really need to do is take the lesson from here and, love them, embrace them, walk with them, and not away from them. And I think if we can get that powerful message out of tonight, I think as a community, Mayor Maxey, North Adams is going to be a lot better off. So thank you very much.
Okay, I would like to call up Carol Cushnetti. Carol, as we've heard, was the one who brought this idea forward a year or so ago and who made certain tonight happen. Darlene mentioned she's a workhorse. I felt more like she was a workhorse and she had the whip. But it was okay. You cracked the whip in a very nice way. You're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Last year, Carol attended an Into Light installation at Wheaton College with her lifelong friend Janice McGrory, who's with us here tonight. There you are, Janice. Janice lost her daughter to substance use disorder about 15 years ago. And Janice, you're right here with us tonight. And it was through this connection that Carol met Teresa Collar, the founder of Into Light, and voila, here we are. Carol has a letter from Teresa that she would like to share. And I would also like to point out that Janice's daughter, I've been blocking her for the last how many ever minutes, but this is Liz, her beautiful daughter. So, Carol, come on.
I just have to say I'm humbled, and I'm not going to be as eloquent as everyone else, but thank you all so much for being here. And I have to say a special thanks to this team, Anna, Dick, Andy, Crystal, Betsy, Meredith, Noe. You are incredible and doing all of the heavy lifting. I am not. Thank you for your passion and kindness, and for keeping me in check, which some of you in this room understand how challenging that task is. I am so grateful, and to my sister by choice, Janice, thank you for your strength and courage in helping bring Into Light to the Berkshires. So this is from Teresa. I have the honor of reading this letter from Teresa Clower, founder and CEO of Into Light Project. My name is Teresa Clower, and I am the founder and CEO of the Into Light Project. This organization was born in 2019 from the loss of my son, Devin, who died from an accidental fentanyl overdose. In the depths of grief, I began drawing portraits. First his, then others who had been lost to substance use disorder. What began as one mother's way to process unbearable pain has grown into a national movement, powered by countless volunteers, artists, writers, family members, and communities across this country who share a common belief: addiction is a disease, not a moral failing. They also believe in the power of art and storytelling to change hearts and minds. This work exists because of the dedication of so many. A team of talented artists and writers from across the nation now create portraits and narratives that form the heart of each exhibition. State ambassadors, community partners, and volunteers in nearly 20 states have opened their hearts and communities to these difficult but necessary conversations. Families have trusted us with their most painful losses, transforming their grief into a force for change. What's happening here in Berkshire County embodies the best of what this movement can be. By adding loved ones from your immediate area to this expanded exhibit, you have made it deeply personal for your community. You are saying these lives matter. These stories deserve to be told. We will not look away. This achievement reflects the extraordinary commitment of the team who spearheaded this effort: Andy, Anna, Crystal, and Dick, along with the many volunteers and community members who have worked together to bring this vision to life. Your collective dedication to end the stigma of addiction is creating space for healing, honest conversation, and hope. Thank you for being part of this movement. Together we are bringing light into the darkness, and together we are saving lives. With gratitude and hope, Teresa Clower, Devin's mom.
Thank you so much. I think, am I wrong? Teresa did one or two of these. Well, Liz, I think someone else. This is Teresa's work. And this is how it all started for her. It started for this project, so it's really, really quite profound. One more letter I'd like to read in from our good representative, John Barrett, who can't be here tonight. John says, unfortunately, I'm unable to attend tonight's opening, but I do want to express to everyone in attendance my strong support for Into Light Project and its upcoming installation in the Berkshires. By honoring the lives of Berkshire County residents and sharing their stories, this exhibition brings compassion and humility to an issue too often clouded by shame and misunderstanding. The project's focus on education, open conversation, and pathways to recovery is both timely and essential. Recovery begins with awareness, and awareness begins with community engagement. And here we are. We're especially grateful to the local families who courageously shared their stories of their loved ones to make this exhibition possible. I commend the Berkshire Overdose and Addiction Prevention Collaborative, the North Berkshire Heal Coalition, Berkshire Health Systems, and the many municipal partners who have come together to make this installation possible. Their collaboration demonstrates a meaningful commitment to prevention, healing, and most importantly, hope. Into Light sends a powerful message to individuals and families affected by substance use disorder. And that message is you are not alone, and support is available. I'm proud to support this initiative and the important work it represents to Berkshire County. Once again, congratulations on the opening of the project. Please know that I stand ready to assist in any way possible to help advance your important work and achieve your goals. That's from signed John Barrett, representative of First Berkshire District. You know, we have such phenomenal support here, not only in the Berkshires, in so many different ways, but across the Commonwealth. We're ahead of the game in so many ways, and it's just really makes my heart happy, I guess. So, in closing, boy, you've been waiting for me to say that word, haven't you? But in closing, you'll be able to walk around, as you have already, many of you, to see the faces, and through story, hear their voices. And as you look and listen, I'm guessing you will then reflect on someone you know, a family you know. As you do, please yourselves become an advocate. A true advocate for them, for their families. Share this experience with others and help everyone understand that substance use disorder is a disease, not a weakness in character, not a family flaw. The beautiful people gracing our gallery tonight all had a life. They all had a voice. They all have families. And tonight, through the strength and grace of those families, we get to know them and we get to share their stories. Thank you all again very much. Spread the word about this exhibit and come back 8 to 8, 7 days a week until June 30th. Thank you all.